Dear, when you're thinning a straight wig, first of all, this particular wig was thin enough, but I'm just parting it off to show you. When you're thinning a straight wig, it's basically the same. You want to wet it just a little bit. I didn't wet this. You're going to wet it just a little bit, but just to keep the crazy edges from getting in the way. And basically just section it off. Yeah. This particular wig, because of the way it's made, it's got shorter hairs up here because that's the way they ended it. But you want to section it off and just do the same thing. Just take your thinning shears, and just clip. Now you may want to clip, if you have a wig that's like this, show you. If you have a wig that's like this, where the ends kind of end short up at the top, you want to thin it. You're not going to cut that, because all you're going to do is get a bunch of little hairs. But you're going to cut a little lower past that point, and then comb the hair, or you can brush that hair out. You could probably use a paddle brush. I like the comb better because it tends to catch the fibers better. And just do the same thing all the way around. I have layered this wig. I didn't like it. It was too straight for my face. I wore it in a video and I hated it. See, it made my face look too fat. Of course, I'm too fat, so what the hell was I thinking? Anyway, but yeah, basically that's all you do is just take sections and just work your way around and take your time. Don't start snipping, because this is not going to grow back. You're going to ruin it if you don't take your time and do it. Okay. One last note for those of you that use weave, and I'm not sure you can see this up close, but if you've got a track of weave or a section of hair, most weave is made, and this is human hair, and I'm pretty sure synthetic is pretty much the same, is made with a double weft. They sew something, and then they sew a track, and then they sew another track onto it. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know how close the camera is. I don't do these videos on the computer. I do them aside and then do them up, so it's hard for me to gauge whether or not you can see it. But if you've got a piece of weave, you can go look at it. It's got a double track. For thinning this, and for actually stretching your hair a little more, you want to take a straight razor, okay, and not one of the ones with the handle on it, because they're too hard to maneuver. A straight razor, and just cut along that line very carefully to get rid of course it won't cut because I'm trying to do this, and get rid of that thread. See, there you go. And you can actually split that track. But you have to be really careful, because these hairs are sewn on with, if you can see that, with a short end, because they don't use full length hair. They loop it over just to catch it, so you're not going to get the same length strand on both sides. But just cut that apart, and when you do, that automatically thins the weave for you. It also stretches your hair. Not that anybody out there has a big head. I do. But you can extend your pack a little bit, and then you just take it. It's like opening up a seam if you sew. I don't, but my mom does. Opening up a seam on a hem and just cutting it away. And you do that, and then you can pull the two pieces apart. You can pull the two pieces apart, and it'll thin it that way. It's actually a lot easier than thinning a wig. Now, if you do find, this is somewhat curly, but it's also a straight texture. If you do find that your weave is still too thick, after you've cut it, pulled it apart, wet it a little, and maybe let it air dry if you run your fingers through it, if you're supposed to finger comb it, or if you brush through it lightly or use a wide tooth comb on it and it's still too bushy, then I would suggest getting your trimming scissors to go ahead and trim maybe a little bit of it. But it also depends on where you're going to place it, you know, in the design of your hairstyle. So that's basically it. I hope this was informative, but that's how I trim down my weave. No, you won't see me because I'm a hot mess today. It's hot, it's sticky, and I'm doing well to have clothes on. You guys have a great day, great evening. Hope everybody had a good Mother's Day. Be blessed, be safe. Peace out.